Hello and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. Welcome to episode 9 of our Hunt of the Reckoning Chronicle, Whirl and Rush. There may be some horror, so be prepared, and if it gets too much, feel free to stop or watch something else. It's a shared storytelling experience, and I don't totally know what's going to happen. I am going to mute the stream because I forgot to do that, and I'm hearing myself back. Last time, our hunters sought exactly what it was that they had found signs of in the tunnels near Elephant and Castle. Sending a small drone in on wheels, they saw a gargoyle apparently guarding a container full of science equipment. Their contact on the Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group has offered to show them some of what they've found since their attack on the Vampire Elysium at the Shard. As we open this session, you are in the back of a car on your way to this building, which is where they've been operating out of as part of their investigation. So this is the sort of headquarters of what they will in future times call the Second Inquisition, but it's not being called that just yet because I'm trying to maintain the narrative properly. It's a very large building. It's over in West Silverton. Used to be a flour mill. It's on the south side of the Royal Victoria Docks, kind of brutalist building. It's very square. The windows are dark. Some of them are broken. The building itself looks a bit dirty, but there's pretty serious looking security on the way in, and as the car approaches the first security gate, you have to talk to someone before the gate opens and you're allowed in. It's Simon that's driving. And there's a second security gate before he's able to park, and you walk up to the building.
Okay, at this point, very quickly to explain all my levels up.
Okay.
Sonia falls to her knees, and Raphael's light, her big whacking stick, lights up and becomes very, very bright.
Is this in the car?
This is outside the car.
It's kind of in the car park in the sort of early morning.
I was thinking that I'd have to bail out of the moving car if that was happening in the backseat.
And at that point, I would like to try and use one of my new things if I can find the thing. I would like to try to use my detection. The artifact reacts to the presence of the supernatural, similar to the sense of the unnatural edge. The hunter must achieve a win on an edge test with a difficulty ranging from 3 to 5.
Oh, okay. How many dots have you got in your edge? Or does it not work like that? It's not. It doesn't. I'm trying to figure out how the edge test happens mechanically. Give me a second.
The edge test is intelligence and occult.
Oh, yes. Too many sets of mechanics in my head. Where's the nearest thing? I'm sorry, can you give me the name of the edge again, just while I double check a couple of things?
It's detection.
Yes.
It's a perk on the artifact edge.
Armor. It'd be much easier if there weren't multiple ways of spelling artifact depending which country you're in.
Wait, what?
I think there's multiple ways of spelling artifact. Last I checked. Yeah,
spell it in the book.
Yeah, with an I. With an I.
Fact.
Just double checking how this works before it's just so I know what to roll against you. I could have been better prepared for this, but that's okay. Power does not indicate what creature is. Okay. Okay, then give me a roll of your occult and intelligence, please. And you're aiming for a difficulty of 4.
That's 3 out of 4.
Okay. How does the artifact show the presence of supernatural if there is some?
I think it lights up, and also that light resonates with Sonia's brain or spirit, depending on where you stand on spiritual things, and sort of pings deep in her soul, but the stick lights up.
Okay. And the stick glows somewhat, but it's not strong. I apologise. I've had a drink of water and my stomach is now making appalling noises. I hope it's not coming through on stream.
I can't hear a thing.
Yep, not a thing.
Okay, good.
But now I'm imagining Sonia's brain glowing like the stick now. He said it resonates.
Yeah, her eyes are lighting up. Literally, no, it's not quite that bad.
You just see the brain through the skull.
I'm imagining like a wisp of like, as she moves the stick, it's kind of a wisp moving in the direction, perhaps?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I stand up and I say, okay, I think there may be something not human here.
Yeah, with three successes, you're getting a sense that there's something in that building that is uncanny in the extreme.
There's something really strange in that building.
Of course, there is. It is a part of the tour that Simon has arranged for us, no?
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but up until very recently, I wasn't able to tell those kinds of things in my soul. I think Raphael has given me some new powers.
Oh, you do it with your soul? I do it with this. And he like reaches into the bag and pulls out that X-scope goggle set that he made.
Felix, that is a much cooler way of doing it, but I've got angel shit going on, and yeah.
Angel shit is also very, very cool. Do not put yourself down. It is.
I will say that the firmware updates are painful. That really hurt.
And on this sort of grey, where are we up to? Wednesday morning, I think, possibly Thursday. It really feels bright in this March sky. You know how sometimes it can get sort of 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, it still feels quite grey?
Yeah. Okay. Simon, what's the plan?
Okay, we're going to go in and you're going to see some stuff. Now, I am a glorified liaison officer here in this situation. That's not my normal job, but that's what I'm doing here to you. I want you to understand that a lot of what is going on here is a result of negotiations and compromises, and some people wanted everything to be more something, and this is what we've arrived at. You may not agree with everything that's going on in here, but this is what we do. And remember, to some of these groups that we're working with here, this is effectively a time of war, and we're fighting the supernatural.
So it's one of those, if nobody's happy, that's a good result deals.
Something like that.
Simon saying in so many words is you're going to see things that make you very upset.
This is predominantly an information gathering facility.
Okay, that doesn't sound at all ominous.
Felix explains that he's basically expecting like the worst kind of scientific research facility on like animals possible, except on vampires. So just about anything you would expect to see here.
Simon opens the door and invites you to step through.
I guess we step through, right, Felix?
Mm-hmm. This is what we are here for.
Inside, there's a small room with a security gate. There's uniformed guards. They're visibly tense. They invite you to move through the first gate, which checks for any sort of metallic objects and things. For both of you, it's going to go off.
Yeah.
They're going to ask that you surrender any weapons or tools at this point. They will be returned to you before you leave. It's just for security here.
I want to, but okay, this is a long story, but there was an angel, gave me this stick, and I've not really been away from it for any amount of time since I got it, and I don't know what'll happen if that happens. And have you heard of Raphael, the angel?
If you're going to bring an occult object in amongst all of these prisoners' resources, I need to know for sure that it's not going to cause them to suddenly react strongly or potentially break out or do some uncanny shit that we haven't even thought of yet. Are you going to be sure that that's not going to happen?
I don't know. Take the stick and, look after it. And
it will be kept securely.
All right.
There's a second in the security gate where you're asked to relinquish your phones and any recording devices.
This feels incredibly inefficient, Sonia says, bluntly. Because you already have that one guy who took the weapons. Why don't you have him also take the phones?
Because some people are only coming here for meetings and they don't have to go into this second part, and you are going inside, so you've gone past the meeting rooms.
I should not question your internal bureaucracy rules. Here, have my phone.
And you can see them typing some stuff into their computers and bringing up some information. They take your phones and put them somewhere secure. They will be returned to you before you leave as well. Unless you leave by some other door. Who would do that?
Do they let me keep my lighter or no?
Your lighter's probably not going to be okay. If it's I'm imagining like a metal Zippo kind of deal. Yeah. Probably not okay. Simon can see you're looking uncomfortable and says that this won't take long and that it's just for security reasons. It's not because of they don't trust you. It's because they don't trust anyone.
I appreciate that, Simon, but that's not the source of my discomfort. I don't know if you're familiar with the new show Game of Thrones, but this is similar to like if Jon Snow was separated from his direwolf for a considerable amount of time, and instead of a wolf, it's a stick.
Wait, sorry, are you going to bring a wolf into our facility? Because
do you understand the concept of a television show?
Yes, I've seen television shows.
Well, it's this new show, Game of Thrones. It's the season 1 just
fantasy thing.
Yeah, and one of the lead characters has a big wolf as a pet, and he doesn't feel good when the pet's away from him. But in my case, I don't have a pet. Well, I do. I have a dog, Crypto, but he's at home. I mean, my stick, it's like a wolf from Game of Thrones.
Oh, just out of character completely. I love the fact that you know exactly where we are at in Game of Thrones in this time period.
I love Game of Thrones as a person, me, including the last season, because I'm wrong.
I think Felix would try to help Sonia with whatever sort of charisma check this is to keep her stick, because it's a wooden stick, right, Sonia?
Yeah, but it's a glowing wooden stick.
Oh, it's glowing now? It's not.
Vampires don't react well to this stick, so it's a risk bringing it in. I don't know what will happen.
Okay.
I was we
Sonia, can you roll me either...
Stick, but...
Oh, sorry, Felix, I missed what you were saying there.
I was saying, well, if it wasn't glowing, I'd try to pull the Gandalf. You wouldn't separate an old man from his walking stick routine.
Sonia, do you want to... and you don't want to, but could you please roll me either charisma and persuasion or charisma and what would be appropriate here? Either charisma persuasion or charisma streetwise. I'd allow charisma streetwise.
It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Oh, okay.
I've got 1 dice on this.
Only 1 for both.
I'm not very charismatic.
I thought you had a dot in streetwise.
I don't. I have 1 dot in charisma and nothing in any of the.
Well, because Felix is helping you, you can have a +1 on the die.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. All right, so intelligence. No, because charisma. Intelligence is a good one. Do I add +1 to the dice modifier?
Yes.
Thank you. Difficulty?
Don't worry about difficulty just now.
0
successes. The security guard just looks at you darkly and says, "Just put it in the box. We'll pick it. You can pick it up when you're done. We can't have uncanny shit going on in here."
You should really watch the show. It's great. I mean, Sean Bean dies in episode 9, though.
Thank you for that. Okay. You're giving me spoilers now. Thanks.
There is plenty of uncanny shit going on in here, but it is your stick that is the problem.
There's uncanny shit we bring in here, and there's uncanny shit our visitors bring in here.
I don't know. Like, it could explode for all I know. Let's just be safe, all right?
Not helping your case.
I'm not very good at talking, Felix. I think I'm just going to shut up now and let you do the talking.
All right, so Felix complies with all of this stuff, which means he leaves his bag behind, which is sad. So no improvised gear.
Not while you're in here. And I like the idea that maybe something's going to go bang whilst you're in there.
Also, I probably can't smoke because I took my Zippo.
Nope.
So
yeah, you're going to be at a -2 for anything we're rolling. So this will be interesting. There's a long corridor. It's kind of humming with fluorescent lighting. The doors are only marked by colour-coded labels. There's no writing at all. Inside, it's clearly been derelict, but they've rebuilt sections of it. So the odd section where there's like a bunch of barriers around a massive hole in the floor. But people kind of use it like you can walk around it. So the rooms that are there look pretty reasonably high-tech and fancy, but the actual fabric of the building is old and damaged and not so lovely.
Okay.
A person arrives who introduces themselves. They're very enthusiastic and clearly a kind of like a smiley kind of person. They're wearing a uniform as well, but they look like a couple of steps higher than the security guard. They've got a lanyard. They've got a kind of a shirt with a black thing over the top. It's like the security uniform kind of thing. Dark coloured trousers. They've got medium length hair. They introduce themselves saying their name's Carrington and their job is to show you around. Simon clearly knows his way around, but he's going to allow this person to just take the lead on things.
Is Simon sticking with us?
Simon's with you, yeah, but he's not leading on this, and he's clearly not like, this isn't his favourite place, is the vibe you're getting.
Okay.
And Carrington says, he welcomes you warmly in sort of vague euphemisms. We've found a few subjects who've been very informative. It's been very interesting. If you can follow me through here, I'll show you the observation rooms.
I whisper to Felix, Carrington means that they torture things here, don't they? That's what he's saying.
Yes, it is most likely. He'll give your hand a little squeeze for support. He's like, this is going to be very hard.
And Carrington takes you down a corridor that's off the wider corridor itself. So it's quite a narrow area. There's a series of what look like glass windows. So, Carrington explains that it's one-way glass, so you can see in, but they can't see out. And there's a bunch of what look like people in restraint chairs. They're kind of pale, jittering, muttering incoherently. When you look at them, you can see that their eyes are a bit milky, and some of them have got sort of strange cranial IVs attached. Looking through the window, you can see that one of them's hooked up to a machine that says neurodisruption feedback loop. Another one has arms covered in ink, sort of glyphs carved into the skin.
Are they being illuminated by just regular light?
Yeah, it's kind of like overhead fluorescent light. It's not particularly dark or anything. Carrington explains, these seem to be the sort of humans that help the vampires. They seem to refer to themselves as ghouls, which sounds pejorative, but they seem to be quite happy to use it themselves. We're studying the long-term neurological changes induced by the Vitae dependency. There's tremendous potential for unlocking enhancements to adrenaline response, tissue recovery, maybe even some mental projections.
What is it? Where do they derive these abilities from? You said they serve.
They were drinking the blood of their. Well, they don't call it blood; they call it vitae. Apparently, it's something different. But they were drinking from the vampires they were serving at regular intervals.
I do not think these insights will be useful for you, unless you intend to drink the blood.
Well, if we can simulate what's happening, the thing that we found is that they are not aging as quickly as they should be, and some of them have powers. And if we can simulate that effect without needing this blood, this vitae, in order to create it in the first place, that could be tremendously useful.
Felix will nod, but he's just like very dubious that you can scientifically recreate the effects of vitae, but he keeps it to himself.
Give me a second. Yeah, that's enough. There's a fuss coming from a nearby room, and you can hear some shouting and someone being restrained. It's, one of the ghouls is begging to be fed, and he screams just as the word please finishes.
Why are you doing this to these people?
Like I said, we need the information about what happens to humans when they're exposed to this vitae.
But this is awful.
It is. It's awful that they're addicted to it. Do you understand? We can't provide it. Well, we can't easily provide it.
Have you made any breakthroughs on helping their addiction not be an addiction anymore?
It doesn't seem to be possible at the moment.
Oh.
Does the addiction run its course like most do if they've been isolated long enough?
Well, the two that we had isolated, remember it's only been a few days in game time since the shard happened. A couple that we isolated and seemed to be getting better, but then they seemed to age rapidly, and one of them basically collapsed into dust and died, and the other one is just has every appearance of being 30 years older than they were now.
And vampires did this to these people.
I imagine if things had run their course otherwise, they would still be getting their vitae and they would still be youthful, powerful.
But slaves.
Well, yes, of course.
Did any of them mention how often they have to take a dose?
That hasn't been clear, and they haven't been particularly... they haven't been clear themselves in how they've expressed this, and we haven't seen from observations enough information. We are thinking about experimenting with some vitae from vampires we've captured and seeing if we can simulate the effect, or at least keep them alive long enough to make further observations. Shall we move on?
Yes, that's...
And they walk back out onto the main corridor and take you down some steps. There's another security thing here. They don't make you do anything, but Carrington has to show their card and get buzzed through a door before you're allowed inside. The next room has several sort of large glass sarcophagi almost, with human-like figures suspended inside in sort of a diffuse gel. There's IVs attached. Carrington explains that these are vampires that they've captured who they've managed to either by accident or design stake. So they are technically alive, but they're inert.
I mean, if you're studying them is one thing, but the only decent thing is to end their suffering. They're plagued, and there's no cure for it.
No, I fully agree. Vampires are certainly a problem to a sane world.
I'm sorry?
Well, if a sane world was where we were living, then we wouldn't have this problem of vampires, obviously. I agree with you, they should be destroyed. But the people who operate this building need to understand how they work first. They want to have better weapons, have better... who knows what else. There's scientific discoveries to be made here, and they want us to investigate them fully whilst we can. But I'm with you, they should all be destroyed.
You said that they were hooked up to stuff. Are there like monitors or something?
Yeah,
like that?
So there's looking closer, you can see there's some IVs that are draining their blood at regular intervals, and they're being monitored for. And you can see on some charts. I'm not going to make you roll for this because it's all just there. Regeneration, activation triggers, and something to do with spiritual pressure mapping.
So are they showing any brain activity or anything? Or are they like anything like that?
That's not being monitored at the time.
I want to talk to one.
They can't talk.
They'll take the stake out.
If we take the stake out, bad things happen. They tend to frenzy.
So Felix will point
Give
out
me my stick back and put me in a room with one and lock the door.
Sorry, Felix, what were you saying?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I was just saying, Felix points out the tubes that are pulling blood out of them, and he's like, if they awaken now, they are starving, and that is not good for anybody.
We found with these ones there wasn't much blood in the first place. We are starting to suspect that perhaps we can only achieve this inert state by removing some of the blood. Or at least causing a huge amount of damage.
Are there any that you have here that are able to speak?
Not here. Not right now. The ones that can speak tend to be the ones that escape. Or murder. And they have to be put down quickly.
Okay.
Anyone who wants to could roll me wits awareness, please. You both got 2? Yes.
Wasn't sure about difficulty, but...
Oh yeah, don't worry about the difficulty. It's just about how many successes you get at on this one. I wish that they made it possible to just turn off difficulty sometimes, because sometimes it's contested as well. Okay. Sonia, you can pick up. It's a weird feeling. You feel like one of them is mouthing words at you, but when you look at them, you can't see anything, and their mouth isn't moving. But when you sort of half look out of the corner of your eye, you thought they were.
While Sonia's like feeling this and noticing this stuff, can Felix be talking to? Well, you said his name was Carrington.
Carrington, yeah.
Yeah, I think he kind of looks over and sees that there's gears turning in Sonia's head. He's worked with her long enough; he can tell something's going on. So he'll try to distract Carrington by just asking about like different sort of tests he'd perform on them if he had the chance, and seeing if they've done those yet. Like, has he exposed them to UV light? Has he injected them with holy water?
Oh yes.
Cutting off pieces?
We've done some daylight tolerance tests. That was very incisive. It was full of insight. Is what it was. Insightful. That's the word I was looking for. They don't like sunlight at all. It almost instantly kills them pretty much all the time.
Yes,
except with one.
We know that. But what about the manufactured sunlight from white light incandescent bulbs?
We've tried UV light. That didn't have the same effect. They didn't like it, but it didn't burn them instantly.
You said All but one. What happened with this one?
Oh, this was very strange. They were not found like the others. So the majority of the subjects we have here were lifted from the Shard. These ones were lifted from a homeless shelter. And this one here, well, they're not there anymore, but they seem to survive the sunlight.
And you are sure it is a vampire?
As far as we can tell, they have many of the characteristics, but they do not seem to be affected by the sunlight.
This is most strange.
The test done on their blood, Vitae, whatever this one has, it seemed to be a thinner substance than the rest of the vampires. So we're wondering if this is maybe a third sort of creature. But more tests have to be done. The problem with working with all these groups is that they will not always share information. So some of them seem to know what's going on but haven't told us yet. We're having a very frustrating time with it. Everyone wants the information we're getting, but no one seems to be willing to share the information they already had. So it's rather a point of contention at the moment.
Whilst that chat is going on, I'm going to go as close as I can to the one whose mouth I suspect was moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to... they're behind glass, right? Or...
Yeah, they're behind glass and suspended in fluid. Gel.
All right, I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna put my hand on the glass, and I'm gonna say under my breath, "If you want to communicate with me, you've got to be more obvious than whatever that it is you're doing. All right? Tell me what it is you want me to know."
You don't hear anything back.
I turn to Carrington and say, "I might be able to get you more information, but I'm going to need my stick, and I'm going to need a place where I can revive this one. And I'm going to need the room."
We can't allow that at this time. We haven't got many intact specimens. You're seeing everything that we have left. When we get more, we could talk. But right now...
I think this one's trying to communicate with me.
Okay. We will make a note of that, and if we can get you back in, we will get you back in. But right now, I can't put any of the specimens at further risk.
What if I told you that I can make sure that the specimen will not attack me?
It's not you we're worried about, with respect.
You're worried that they'll damage themselves?
Or any of the other staff here. There have been incidents already.
Fair enough. I turn around and I put my hand on the glass again and I say, "Last chance, come on."
Oh, hang on. Switch it out for hunger. Nope, nothing. Sorry.
All right, fine.
The most likely outcome is that it attacks you and then you ash it. So then they're one less specimen,
Fair enough. There's other avenues I can investigate later, but that's between me and my brain. Okay, I'm going to keep quiet.
Felix, as you're being led away, you spot something on the wall that it says reactive sorcery notable successes. There's a sort of implication that they've been experimenting with ritual triggering via pain, blood deprivation, and drug cocktails.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't mentioned it, but Felix is rigorously trying to memorize all of these checkpoints, their security measures. He's getting a good look at those badges.
Okay. I'm making a note that you've done that.
Yeah. I mean, if I could have snuck a little portable camera in there, I'd be taking pictures, but I'm guessing
it's unlikely.
So, yeah. I don't think they make all plastic cameras, so.
As you're walking down the next section, Carrington speaks to you about how some of our colleagues believe that if we understood what these creatures can do, we might be able to harness it. I mean, can you imagine agents who could pass as kindred or be immune to the tricks they can do? Or perhaps even use them themselves?
Yeah, but for what purpose?
Oh, surely you've got to wonder, what if you could protect your friends, your city, with their own weapons?
You mean become them?
No, not a mindless monster obsessed with feeding, but have some of their powers.
Vampires aren't mindless. Vampires are intelligent. That's kind of why it's taken so long for any of us to get anywhere. Because they are smart and powerful.
And I worry what a government agency would do with these powers once they had no more enemies of the vampire type left. I have seen many times weapons developed against the enemy are brought home and used against regular, everyday people, and I do not care for it.
He takes you through to another room where, rather than physical specimens of other vampires or ghouls, they've got a collection of items and objects. There's some vials of fluids that are being tested. There's some stolen notes that researchers are working through. And also you see something that looks a lot like the red stone that was in with the package that you delivered on that first interaction with these people.
So this is where all of that information ended up.
Yeah, Felix is super interested in those notes.
Well, I had it all ready for this.
But Carrington probably wouldn't enjoy me flipping through them.
Give me a sec. Where's the thing I had?
Especially since I yucked his yum about getting vampire powers.
Sorry about this, just need a quick... This is not what I need right now. Where's the thing that I need right now?
How's Sonia feeling about Carrington right about now?
Sorry, Mike was muted. I'm going to keep to myself how I feel, but what you are seeing is Sonia with a look on her face that I don't think you've necessarily seen before, because Sonia is a very black and white thinker. At this point, the look on her face is possibly confusion, but something's off with Sonia, and that's all I'm going to say. And Sonia will just say to you, well, if you have asked, like, with words, are you okay? She'll just say, yes, I'm fine, over and over again. But her face suggests otherwise.
Right, and I don't know what sorts of things he can do to comfort her, but he tries to, like, stay close to her if that's what she likes. Yeah, he was like Felix was pretty
People
down
who aren't trans, Thea dropped a fucking thing. And I'm responding in the way that is right, which is almost certainly going to have massive repercussions. Thea, you're a goddamn genius. That was very well done, because nobody cis is going to understand what you did. Sonia is going through a thing. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I imagine there's nuance being forced upon her, and she's not super cool with it. Felix was pretty down with all of this experimentation until he started getting like a Woody talking about vampire powers. And it's one of those things where like tools to fight terrorism are always used back home. I was like, yeah, nope, I don't know if I want to work with this guy.
Can you give me Felix, can you give me an intelligence academics roll, please?
Sure. One sec.
I've just closed one of the things I need. 1 out of 2. I need a drink is what I need right now. Recognizing the stone, do you want to ask anything about it? Or, and the notes? Do you want to try and look through them or anything like that?
Yeah, so like, are they like in an open room that are just like available?
So there's a small team of people researching, but these things are all in a stack, which implies that they've already been looked at.
Okay.
They're not live research documents.
I get a very good roll in my intelligence and academics, but if possible, I'd like to spend a willpower on some of those.
Okay, if you want to spend a willpower, you can re-roll 3
Cool.
that didn't go so well there.
I would absolutely want to look at those notes if that's available as an option.
You've asked about it enough that I knew that was the thing. That's why I'm... Okay, that's 2 more successes. Okay, you get a look at those notes. Seems to be mainly a list of addresses and businesses and names.
Does it look like the same like package we delivered to Simon earlier?
Yeah, much earlier. It's a month earlier. You don't recognize individual names and stuff, but like the typeface, the layout of the document seems very similar, and it looks like they've been copied a few times. You see some of the similar pages, but they've had some annotations added to them, or they've had like names crossed out and things. It looks like they've been using it as a checklist to see who they've got or who they can account for.
At a like glance, are there any names that are associated with the investigations that we've been looking into?
Oh. Not at the moment. I'm trying to think. I'm just double checking because the names that we've mentioned already.
There was like the body in the water.
The address for the estate, the industrial estate that had all the neon lights on it, that's there, and that's been crossed off. There isn't stuff about the body in the tree. There isn't stuff about Powell Estate. Trying to think what the other things were.
It's way easier for me to ask than for you to answer.
Yeah, sure. They do have some information on what the red stone's for. So the notes about that seem to imply that it's like some kind of homing device. So if you are carrying that, someone else can know where it is.
Okay. So is it like formed from Vitae? Is that why
it seems to be the result of some kind of sorcery, yeah.
Okay.
They haven't figured out how to make their own. Sorry, I'm just flicking between pages of notes here. Do another roll. See if this bit does anything. No, there's nothing that you recognise in there apart from some of the addresses that you've been to. The names don't mean anything to you. I mean, you recognise the name Duncern, but you already have accounted for who that is and that they're no longer in the city. So have they. There's nothing about Elephant and Castle. So Elephant and Castle was the area where you had found the people, the way down to the where the gargoyle was. That's not mentioned.
Okay.
Sonia, you didn't...
more...
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I
was wondering if there's anything else in this room besides the notes. Like, do they have other like books or things like that they're looking through?
Ooh.
Or is it just...
There's some small... Yeah, it's a few teams of researchers. They're working through papers. They're working through documents. There may be some books. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Not especially. I just didn't know if like the notes were like a part of a larger kind of collection of things they had gathered that they're pouring through, or if it was like the main thing they were digging through.
No, it's not the main thing. So they've got huge collections of stuff, but a lot of it has turned out to be irrelevant. So they're sorting into things that are useful and are being entered into the computer, and things that are not useful and are being kept but not prioritized.
I'm going to ask Carrington just straight out. Simon said that you are working on a way to get rid of all the vampires in London. How are you going to do that?
Well, we've been provided with this list, and we've been working through it, and we're simply, if they haven't left, we are tailing them and removing them ourselves.
I would like to pick up the list as you refer to it and just have a look at it, as if I'm just looking at the list and being like, okay. But I'm going to be looking for any vampires that have listed... I'm going to basically look for any like vampires that... I'm going to look for a vampire like address or location that is near or around the coronet.
Okay. Give me a wits academics, please.
I'm pretty all right at that stuff. Let's do it. Three
successes. Okay. You know what? It's almost weird. There's many addresses dotted all across London, but there is nothing covering Elephant and Castle.
Yeah, you said before.
Or Brixton. I'll give you that as well for your 3 successes.
I'm going to mention offhand, I must be doing a better job than I thought. There's no vampires on the list as living in Elephant Castle, where I live.
One of the researchers looked up. Wait, what? None at all?
Yeah, that's my stopping ground, so I guess that would make some sense, because I try to do the best job I can, but...
No, that could be interesting. That could be really something. And they're kind of reaching for a pen and a post-it note or something to make a note on, that they should check where there are gaps and what that might be causing that.
When they're not looking, I like to remove that post-it note and crumple it up and put it in my pocket.
It's going to be a dexterity... Let's call it dexterity stealth.
Oh, not good at that. Not good at any of that. What's the difficulty?
I think it could be a 3, but like I'm going to roll and see how distracted they are. So we'll see how you get on. Okay, I've done my roll. You do yours, and we'll see who got the most. Oh,
0.
Do you want to willpower?
I do. So is it 1 willpower per reroll?
Yeah, one willpower per reroll of 3 dice. Dices.
Oh, I'm just going to spend 1 willpower then and reroll both.
Yep. Just do the roll again if you want.
Stealth. Dexterity. That's better.
2 successes. Okay. Can you roll 1d10? You got the command for that in Roll20?
Yes.
Okay, we've got this is
shit.
Tie break.
Intense.
Okay, I got a success, I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
So how does this play out? You're reaching out to try and grab the post-it note that's stuck to the desk, and you've almost got there, but as you're about to remove it from where it's stuck, she turns around and sees you and just gives you a look. And you kind of withdraw at that point and just leave it.
You made a spelling mistake.
Oh, yeah. I'm always putting too many E's in elephant. Sorry about that. I'm sure they'll know what I'm talking about. Can you leave the page there, though, please?
Oh, it's no problem. I'll just write up a new one. And I'll take it, crumple it, put it in my pocket, and I'll write a new note.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm autistic. I have to do this. You have to understand. I have to do this. I'm just amusing myself now whilst ruining this scene for everyone. I'm sorry.
You're not.
Throwing the tism under the bus.
I feel like there should be a tism roll at this point, but
okay.
It's going to be a charisma performance, and I know how many dice that is for you, but just let's see how we go.
It's one dice. So,
I know.
Oh no.
No.
I rolled a 1.
She puts her hand out. Give me it back.
Okay. You're right. I should get over this thing I have. Here you go.
Thank you. Mr. Carrington, can you take these people out of my room, please? They're disrupting my work. And he kind of shoos you towards the door.
I'm not doing well.
To be fair, I'm sure Simon briefed them on your peculiarities,
Okay. So yeah, anyway, so your plan is to use that list and hunt down every vampire individually?
More or less, at least account for them. Some of them have left, some of them weren't here to start with, but if that list is the best indicator we have of everyone. And with the information we've gathered, we've introduced some new technology. You've probably seen the cameras on the underground station and at the national rail lines. They're also being installed at the airport and on the scanners there. It's going to be very, very hard for anyone who is not human to enter or leave this city within days.
Sounds like you've got so many more people involved with this than I could have imagined.
And Simon speaks from behind, saying, "It's taken some doing, I can tell you. This didn't happen overnight. I mean, you know how long it took."
Well, if you need to give me some names and addresses for me to do my share, I'm happy to take the load. Anything to help.
The Society of St. Leopold in particular are very keen that we keep all this in-house as much as possible.
Of course they are. Fucking idiots.
I'm sure I won't comment upon that.
Well, no, because they haven't tried to kill you loads of times.
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Well, watch out for that.
Do you think I'm at risk?
Well, apparently I'm an abomination, so who knows?
You're an abomination. Oh, yeah, the religious.
According to them.
I see.
Just because they're wrong, you have to make everybody else's problem. Anyway, okay. I appreciate you showing us this, Simon. This is equal things somewhat. My concerns were clearly my concerns weren't right.
Sonia, we can talk more later when we're out of the building. That was Simon.
Yeah. So what's the next part of the plan when it comes to us?
Felix has a quick question for Carrington.
Yeah.
He basically is like, given some of the like importance of some of the names on this list, like I'm guessing there's people with like political connections and temporal power, heads of agencies or things like that. He's curious, like, have they encountered some sort of like pushback from like authorities and things like that are not familiar with what all of this is, right? Like a lot of them are probably blind to the threat. And so he's wondering like how they're accounting for that. Like,
as far as they're concerned, this is a terrorism investigation, and anyone that we're pulling in to our investigation, it's because they've been implicated in terrorism against the United Kingdom. That's how we're doing it.
I see. And that label is scary enough to protect you from pushback.
In the majority of cases, yes.
It wasn't that long ago the city was subject to terrorist attacks.
As far as the general public are concerned, that's what's happening now.
Sonia looks even more conflicted than she did before.
I'm sorry, I really shouldn't be smiling at that, but I'm pleased at the effect it's having.
Oh, it's having an effect. It really is. To the point where Sonia is aching to get the fuck out of here, to be honest. At that point, she'll just say to Felix, have we seen enough? Can we go? Or can I go? If you want to stick around?
If you want to leave, Sonia, you are free to go. But there may be other things we can learn here. There may be other things Simon wants to show us.
And Carrington pipes up saying, there isn't really a great deal more I can show you, to be honest. This is the majority of the sorts of information we're capturing, the sorts of creatures that we're capturing, and we're going to continue this sort of work in these sorts of conditions, but there isn't anything to see now that you haven't seen particularly.
Okay.
Is there a information sharing network so that we may remain appraised of the findings here?
I'll brief Simon where it's appropriate, and he can pass that information on to you as your liaison officer.
If we figure out some things on our own that may be helpful to you, it may be appropriate for us to communicate as well.
We'd very much like that. It's one of the reasons that we were allowed to give you access to some of our technology, some of the drone device you've been using.
Yes, so all of this communication goes through Simon. That's how you prefer it?
Yes, we keep everything neat and tidy that way. If you start communicating with us directly, then if we were to get conflicting information from Simon about something, how would we know what to trust?
I see. Thank you.
Okay, well, if that's everything, Felix, I'll call you later. I have to go. Thanks. Bye. And I'm gonna start walking towards getting my phone and my stick back.
Okay, Sonia, can you please roll me a? It's going to be a composure awareness check, please.
Oh, good. Hey, 3 out of 3.
Okay, then we get to try this again.
No, don't roll.
No. Okay.
I got 3 successes.
Sonia, you're led out of the building by Carrington. You're all leaving together, essentially, back towards the door, the security area. As you pass by the room where you remember seeing the vampires held in gel, you get a flash in your mind. To start with, it looks like a ritual. It looks like a darkened room with a human-like figure in the middle. And you hear someone screaming for help, and then it stops. And then you're back in the room, and you're back in the corridor.
One question, Carrington. Have you been trying rituals? My minder has been telling me about rituals, and apparently they can have some really, 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 really cool stuff.
No, we've not been trying rituals. We are aware that rituals are used, but we haven't got sufficient information to try anything like that by ourselves, and we don't have. I mean, some of the ingredients they seem to list are arcane in the extreme. They often use things like blood of various kinds, other bodily fluids, organs, hair, teeth.
I mean, the stuff you've been doing doesn't seem to be that far away in terms of, how squeamish they can be. Or rather, not squeamish, what's the word? Visceral.
It's not the viscerality of it that's the problem. The problem is convincing some of our people that this is proper science. You understand, we're dealing with a conflict here between the occult and the non-occult, I suppose.
Yes, I guess that makes sense. Do I get the sense that Carrington is being honest?
There's going to be a insight Yeah, wits insight, I think.
Have
I just given you an impossible roll by mistake? No.
No.
It's not a great roll for you, I'm afraid, but...
No, failure.
Felix, if you happen to be doubting it as well, you could give me the same check, wits insight.
I only got the one.
Okay, you can give it a go. You can't do any worse than 0 successes, so...
I feel like what Felix is focused on is figuring out these badges and these security checkpoints in case he wants to come back.
Okay. Something I'll give you just now is that you've noticed there isn't a magnetic stripe on the back. It's clearly some kind of proximity thing.
Right. Okay.
You're led back through the bowels of this ruined building with the weirdly high-tech modifications done to the parts that are being used. You get back to security, they return your devices, they sign you out, and they return your mobile phones and your bag of electronic joy. And Sonia's stick. Sonia's stick. I'm just going to say that. Sorry, I saw what the captions did to that there.
Felix lights up the second his smokes and his lighter are back in his hands. Yeah, even if he's inside, it doesn't matter.
And Simon's used to it, but them Carrington kind of sighs and tuts in a very English way.
That tutting pleases Felix.
But you're also being led outside now, so it's not going to be a problem. In the car park, there's sort of light rain in the air. It smells fresh this close to the river, but it's damp and grey.
So, Simon, what was you said you wanted to speak to me about something?
Oh, just... You understand, they're treating it like they're torturing people for information. I don't fully support that myself, but I understand in the terms of what we're trying to achieve here, this can be useful, and all information is good to have, because I can't imagine that the people we're up against would shirk any information on us if they had it available. But I'm uncomfortable with some of the things that we're doing here. I sense that perhaps you are as well.
They want to have the power of the kindred and use that.
Well, let's talk more in the car. He kind of looks round. There are some security cameras. The car park's quiet, but it's not empty.
Fair enough, yeah.
He drives off, and with you in the car, I'm assuming, and Felix, and as he's driving, he says, the trouble is, they do want the information, and I can understand that, but I'm uncomfortable with how they're finding things out. And that's not the only thing. We're pulling apart strata of society that's never been pulled apart in my lifetime, maybe in the whole history of the country. You understand, these vampires, these kindred, they've been present on every level for most of our history. We simply don't know what Britain will look like if we pull all of that out. And what benefits they might have been conferring that we didn't appreciate until they're no longer there.
It would be worth it if these vampires are killing people.
And they certainly have been, but the British Empire also killed people.
You don't sound like you're particularly as on board with this whole thing as you were.
I am conflicted. Removing undead, powerful creatures from running our country, running our lives, using us like cattle, I'm completely on board with. Never doubt that. But some of this seems in... Oh, can you even be inhumane to things that aren't human? He accelerates. He's kind of... You can sense anger.
The way I see this is that these are people that are sick. God unleashed a curse on the planet, and these people are victims. And I have been trying to relieve them in the kindest way I can by ending their suffering as fast as possible. But this isn't ending their suffering. This is prolonging it, by the sounds of it, to gain power. Do the ends justify the means, Simon?
Some of these groups are military, some of these are technology. They're not going to pass up the opportunity for more power to have something that their competitors do not have.
That is the thing that concerns me the most. These vampires, I do not care what happens to them. The ghouls, it is doubtful whether or not they are completely complicit. They are addicts, as you said, Sonia. So there's some element of victimhood there. But some of them choose this life. I have encountered many such who sought this, who fought for it. But what I am concerned with is, what do these people do if they can replicate these powers? It is not too far to think they could use it against regular folk for their own ends.
I think, Simon, what do you think of what Felix just said?
I think it's a neat summation of everything that is potentially problematic with the military complex. If people are allowed weapons, they will use weapons. If something is not a weapon, they will make it into a weapon.
I am just hopeful that they will not have the success replicating these things that they think they will. It does not seem likely to me, from what I understand of the current state of technology, but if they start looking into these rituals, I worry then.
I have to confess, this aspect, the rituals, the occult, it's never been my interest. I was skeptical of the whole thing until I saw some of the things I've seen.
I had a vision. You know, angel thing, it happens.
You continue to surprise me, Sonia.
I saw a dark room with a person in it. They were carrying out some kind of ritual, and there was a scream. I don't know who was doing it, but I think one of the vampires was tried to tell me about that, or sent me that image that vision in the first place. I think it's possible they were trying to warn me of something.
That would be unusual, but certainly not unprecedented. We have definitely got information that indicates they can put things in your head. They can make you think things you didn't think, or see things that aren't there.
What kind of ritual? One like we found in the park? The removal of the hand, etc.
I don't know. It wasn't entirely clear, but it was bloody, and there was a scream. Someone was suffering greatly as part of this thing. Have I got that right?
You've got enough of that right that I'm.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, also, like Sonia might not have perfect recall of everything as well. So.
Yeah. Well, I definitely don't. So. Yeah. I think there was something darker going on in that place.
Well, I was much like you, Simon. I did not believe in the occult. I knew these creatures were unnatural and had abilities. I did not know folks like Sonia existed. It has been a great comfort to me to know she can do what she can do, but I must admit that if other people can do these sorts of things, I question their motivations. Sonia is a good person, but these military types, I would not like them to have the power she has.
And Simon seems uncomfortable for a moment. He's struggling with how to put this. Yeah, Felix, about motivations and power. At some point we need to have a talk. Just us. Some stuff's come up and it's relevant. It's not bad. It's just at some point we should talk.
Okay.
Well, if you can drop me off in Camberwell, I'll leave you guys to it. I'm going to go see my friend.
Oh, okay. That's a detour, but I can make that detour if that makes life easier.
You want me to get out here? I can get my bike out of the boot and I can just cycle there. It's no bother.
No, it's starting to rain, I'm sure. We can go to Camberwell.
Yeah, I think you probably good guessed. I'm heading to Seth's house.
Yeah, she probably needs to clear her head, which I totally understand.
I'm just double checking what's on the way between West Silverton and where your pub is, canonically. And I just put in the name of the fake pub rather than the real one, which is no help at all. So you'd be going past Poplar, Canary Wharf, Limehouse, Whitechapel. Or Camberwell's a detour, but we can make it. You can't do this in D&D just using Google Maps. Yeah, so you'll go south across the... Which bridge would that be? It almost takes you by the Shard again. And through Bermondsey and then past Peckham, dropping Sonia off at Camberwell, outside Camberwell Green, and then a silent drive back up to the Mitford Fox. And when he parks the car nearby, Felix, Simon takes a breath for a moment and says, "We've been doing research. You saw it on all the kindred, the vampires that we've got information on. Just as a matter of course, we've been checking into some of the people we're working with. Obviously, the people in the security services come with full background checks already done. But you and Sonia were a less known quantity. It took some digging. It's quite a life you've built for yourself since you came here."
Yes, and so?
I feel like I understand you a little more now. It can't have been easy for you.
I don't understand why you bring this up now.
Just
to tell me that you can look into me.
It's so you know that I know. I was almost going into your accent there. I'm sorry. So you know that I know. And if I can help find the person you're looking for, I will. But obviously, a lot of kindred have met their end recently or left. It's very hard to track. But if I hear of anything, I'll tell you.
So Felix is just kind of like looking hard at him. He doesn't understand. Like, just because of his worldview, he almost takes that like, "Oh, I've been looking into you" as a threat. And so he was like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, "I know about you and now I need you to do these things or I'm going to tell folks," kind of a thing. And when it wasn't that, he's very confused. So he just says like, "I figured it wouldn't stand up to the kind of scrutiny that you folks with your resources could bring to bear." But he appreciates the gesture. I do not have much to go on myself. I have been here for years.
Yeah, but you've travelled here looking for someone? Someone who attacked you? Or you're someone close to you?
That is the gist of it.
A lot of us have lost people. The man in charge of this, the whole operation, they took one of his children. Not only took, but turned.
Yeah, Felix doesn't get emotional very often, but there's clearly something going on with his face.
And in that very British way, Simon just feels immensely uncomfortable with the situation as well, and says, well, at least we understand each other now, perhaps a little better, I hope.
And you, Simon, why do you do what you do? You know about me and Sonia.
Sonia is a great resource. I knew that going in, that she is powerful, and I'd rather have her, what's the phrase? Inside the tent pissing out rather than outside the tent pissing in.
I do not think you have to worry about her in the least.
I don't think so either, but we didn't know that going in. None of us had... There wasn't a good reason to reach out. Do you understand? She was doing her work, keeping the numbers down, as it were. We had no problem with that. But you were an unknown quantity until you stole beans. And then you gave us a reason to look into you.
I have kind of been tagging along on all of this, to be honest. You do not have a good reason to invite me in like this.
Well, you've not been ineffectual. I'm not here to give you a report card. You know what you've been doing, how you've been doing. But you're not entirely without support from someone who knows what's going on. I'm just going to put it like that. And now, I'm extremely uncomfortable. Can we just... Have you got anything to do in the pub? I am sure I have work to do somewhere.
Yes, that suits me.
Okay, then we need to say no more about it unless you want to. Or unless I find some more information.
Nah, he's good.
So, you leave the car, Felix drives off. No, you leave the car, Simon drives off. Felix is the... I know who I'm talking to. Sonia, you've left the car at Camberwell. I'm assuming you're looking for Seth.
I went straight to Seth's house.
Okay. Seth has been at work and is in that sort of post-work mood where he's watching a bit of television. He's probably got a Nintendo Switch open as well.
Those aren't a thing yet.
No, they're not. It's a DS. It's a DS I'm thinking of. I don't know why I said Switch.
I don't know why I corrected you.
It's fine. You're exactly correct. No, because I was thinking of a DS, but Switch is what came out because I'm so used to correcting myself in real life. And, yeah.
So I guess I knock on his door.
And there's a little pause while he gets to the door and he answers it. Sonia, what are you doing here? I thought you were on some big thing.
I am, but I needed to talk to someone. You're the only person I can trust.
Well, come in.
Actually, it might be better if we talk out here.
What, in the hallway?
No, outside.
Oh, okay. Let me get my coat and stuff.
Thank you.
Comes back a couple of minutes later. He's got his phone in his coat. He's fastening it up. Locks the house with the key and goes with you.
I just went to the main place where the big thing is being planned.
The big thing? Oh, the thing you're working on.
The expulsion of vampires from London. That's the big thing.
How was that?
They're torturing people who have been victimized by the vampires, what they're doing to the vampires themselves is running tests on them to try and figure out ways to harness their powers. And not only that, the way they spoke about the vampires, it felt wrong.
What did they say?
They just referred to them as vile creatures.
I mean, they sort of are. They drink blood and they kill people.
They do, but they're victims of a curse given them to them by God. These people are victims.
Do you think so, though? What if some of them choose it?
Well, I see it, they're still victims because they've been promised something. They've been promised eternal life. And all of the rock and roll stuff that comes with it. You've seen vampires. You've been with me. They're all dressed really cool and snazzy. You know.
What, you think some of them do it just because their friends are doing it, like some kind of social contagion or something?
No. I don't. It's just. I don't know, but just what I know is that these people, maybe if they are making a mistake, I don't know. Maybe they're making a mistake, but they don't. But I don't know. Just what is being planned for them and what is happening to them doesn't feel right. It's not right. And
what, do you feel it's disproportionate? Or, I mean, you've been booping them, and we've been hunting vampires for years, Sonia.
Yes, to stop them from killing innocent people.
Well, the ones that they're getting rid of won't be killing innocent people either.
I need to talk to one.
I understand why you might want to do that, but that sounds like a terrible idea.
I think I'll be okay. I've got some new... I got another firmware update.
Okay, but Sonia, how do you think your people on the security side will react if they find out you've just been having a casual chat with the people you're meant to be hunting?
Well, it's recon, I guess, right? That's what it would be. It would be recon.
And what will you do if they get all many kind of mimes, fangs, and claws?
I'll defend myself. But maybe it doesn't have to get that far.
Okay. Well, what do you need from me?
I need you to find online any signs of any kind of recent vampire activity so I can go directly to them. I don't think I have the time to go on a full-on hunt. We've got maybe a few days until what they're planning to do is going to happen. And you can't tell Millie about this. You can't tell Felix about this. You can't tell anyone about this.
He starts making notes on his phone. Sonia, are you sure you're okay? This feels very unlike you. You've always just been... boop. Done.
Well, because when we see the vampires, there's usually about to kill someone, so the decision seems to be a lot easier to make. But this is different. This is preemptive.
Of course it is, because every time it's not preemptive, they kill us.
Well, because I show up yelling about angels and how they're sick and I'm the cure. I don't know. Look, think of it this way. If you send me to a place where there is one and I talk to one and they try to kill me or they tell me a load of stuff that confirms everything, then I've done my due diligence and I can go along with everything that's going to happen. But if I'm wrong, if they're wrong, if there's more to this, I want to know. I want to be sure. And after seeing what I've seen today, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So if anybody asks, I'll tell them the truth. I needed more recon. I need more intel, and I'm getting it.
But
that's all this is. And if it goes the way that it's probably going to go, then I'll do the boop dance and I'll join the clan. Not the clan. That's a whole other thing. I'll join the group. I'll go to town and do all the things that are required. But I need to be sure first. Does that sound reasonable to you?
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, it feels like there's a massive operation to hunt vampires that's being run by all the security services acting as one. And you want me to somehow find a vampire that they've missed?
Or find when you find signs of a vampire. Maybe I should go back to the shard. No,
we know what gargoyle is, and they don't.
Sorry?
We know about the gargoyle, and they don't. But,
Yeah, Sonia is trying to avoid that because the gargoyle could totally that is like a fight that she may not be able to win. Like, she could win against like one vampire, maybe two. A gargoyle, I don't think Sonia's getting out of that. You know what? There's something else I can try as well. I'm going to go. Text me if you get any hits on like locations where I can maybe hopefully run into a vampire. I've got to try something else.
Yeah, sure. Are you sure you're okay, Sonia?
I will be. Thank you. I appreciate this. You'll be helping me. You're helping me get to okay. Does that make sense as a sentence?
Kind of. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll look into it tonight and after work tomorrow.
Thank you. At that point, I'm going to walk to the nearest church.
Really using my resources tonight. Did we have a canonical location for where Seth lives? I know it's in Camberwell.
Not specifically.
Okay, so I can just pick any church in that area.
The first one that comes up is St. Giles Camberwell.
Let me just get a look. It's Gothic. You're putting me on the spot a little bit because last time you went to a church, I got to look at it, and I think I even walked past it myself. And here I'm freestyling.
So she's going to go there, and she's going to try her best to pray to Raphael to speak to him directly.
Okay. That is not what I need right now. So, St. Giles Church is a very Gothic-looking church that is apparently was built in 1844. It's a wide building with a spire in the middle. Inside, it's got high ceilings there and dark. The arch is white. The pews are all wooden. A kind of solemn atmosphere as you come inside. There's a hint of I've forgotten the proper name for the smelly stuff in the smoke.
Oh,
incense. There's a faint smell of incense, but the church is quiet. It's late.
I'm going to hold out Raphael's stick in one hand, and I'm going to say it out loud. We have to talk. We have to talk right now. I know you don't usually do that. You're very indirect. But I think I've been a pretty good designated. I've done all that you've asked. I've given up a lot. I've done a lot. I've gone along with it. But I need to talk to you right now. In English. None of that, like, me being turned into some weird energy and imbuing your knowledge through vibes or vapors or whatever. I need you and me sat across from each other at a table or something, having a talk in English as soon as possible. Please, Raphael, please, I'm begging you. I need your help.
There's no immediate response, but you see a member of the clergy who's noticed you and kind of nods in your direction from the other side of the room.
I walk up to him and I say, Raphael?
No, that's not my name. I just work here. Are you okay? Are you looking for Raphael? Who's Raphael?
I pick up, I raise Raphael's light at him.
He cowers. Please, no. I've not done anything.
You understand that I got some angel stuff going on.
I understand you've got a big stick. Please, I'm not.
I would like to make the stick light up.
Okay, I feel like you can do that without a roll.
Yeah, it's a very basic thing.
He cowers. He's terrified.
You don't need to be scared of me. An angel gave me powers. Raphael. That's how I can do this. You believe in God and all of that stuff, right? Well, it's all true.
He's terrified. He's going to make a run for it as soon as he thinks he can safely. From the person with the... He was not expecting this tonight.
I know, this is crazy, but I need your help.
Please.
I need advice.
I can't... Whatever's going on with you, I'm not able to help you just now. Whatever this is, I can't. Please.
You're a priest.
I'm not. I'm a layperson.
What?
The priest doesn't live here.
Wait, the priests don't live in the church?
No, and I'm not even ordained or anything. I just work here.
But you believe?
Of course.
Then help me.
How am I supposed to help you? You've got a magical looking stick and...
I put the stick away. I depower it and put it in my backpack where I usually put it, and just like hold my hands up in front of me, just like, an angel bestowed me with powers to do his work on earth. That's how I can do that. I am no threat to you. Literally, an angel gave me this. And angels are nice, right?
I understand you can believe that very strongly, but this doesn't... I am not equipped to help with this, whatever this is.
I give up and just say, okay, maybe it's best if we all pretend this never happened, and I walk out the church.
He's going to sit and make himself a very strong cup of tea.
At that point, I'm just going to wander around Camberwell up until Seth gives me a point of where to go. Just be really confused and messed up.
Okay.
And I've had the spotlight for a while.
I was going to say, yeah, Felix, what have you been up to since you left the car outside the Mitford Fox?
I think having someone explain to him that they've looked into his past has unnerved him a bit. So I think psychologically, I'm not saying this is healthy, but I think he would feel the need to balance the scales. And so he might be going down his own rabbit hole trying to look into Simon.
Okay.
We don't know Simon's last name, but we do have his likeness. And I think he would be trying to even the score somehow because he feels at a disadvantage. So
there's... Let's do a roll for this because that could make it spicy.
It's also that first episode, when I broke into that apartment. It's the same kind of
same kind of impulse. I like that. It doesn't feel like academics. It's going to be intelligent. Let's say it's a huge amount of data that you're going to be looking through potentially. Let's say intelligence resolve, please.
Intelligence resolve. Okay. I was going to say the other thing too that I might try to do is reach out to my touchstone, my contact.
Okay.
And see if she's heard of the Simon guy too. But we can roll that as part of it. So you said intelligence resolve?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Give me one sec.
just to see how you stick out with ploughing through all the stuff you're going to have to plough through to find anything. Sorry, someone in chat, I missed it earlier, said reaching out to the clan confirmed.
Not what I meant.
I know.
Not what I meant, guys. Come on.
It's fine. Oh my goodness. Okay. We should have you do resolve and intelligence some more. And you're already willpowering that. Wait a second, that's going to make things complicated because you've made a crit there.
I'm going to willpower like crazy on that.
So hang on.
You mark that sheet. Hold on.
So you've got... I'm assuming you don't want to lose the 10 that you already had. But by sticking another 10 in there, you've got an extra 4. Well, you've gone from 1 success to 4 there. So that is 1, 2... Excuse me. You had 3. It's going to be... Why is my math eluding me now? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it looked like
and
I
then,
had 4 dice. Reroll, so
I think you've got 8 successes out of those.
Okay.
With the crit. Okay. There's not a lot on him out there, but you think you found everything that you can possibly get. There's some evidence that as a kid he received some prizes at school. For subject-related schoolwork. As he got older, there isn't much stuff about jobs he had. There isn't social media particularly. He's not left much of a trail, but you did find out that he played golf and that some of his golf scores have been logged, and there's a picture of him in a golf club.
Okay. Did I get like a last name, I'm guessing?
Oh, that's...
Or no?
Give me a sec, because that is in a different part of my book. Where are you? I copied loads of stuff onto my... Lloyd, with 2 L's.
Lloyd, okay. Cool.
That's going to take you a while. I'm going to bounce back to Sonia for a sec.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's locked in for the...
it's going to be a few hours. Sonia, it's getting late, seriously late. The streets have been busy with people who are going out uncharacteristically on a weekday night. You see more security patrols around as well.
Okay, I'm going to try using my detect ability again. I'm just going to roll it, and then you can...
Now, hang on. You were at St. Giles and Camberwell. Where do you reckon she's gone while she's walking the street?
Essentially just walking around Camberwell. So there would be probably corner shops and that kind of thing and parks, but, some people, but not anywhere specific, because she's just wandering, waiting for Seth to email or something. But I just rolled 7 successes on my occult intelligence.
Yeah, I saw that.
So let's say I'm on a street where there's some shops, kebab shops, that kind of thing, or maybe a bus stop or something. You know the type. You've been. You know London.
I've been to London, yeah.
So it's not like a high street, but it kind of is.
Yeah, it's not like a separate town high street. It's like the kind of high street you get where there's another high street less than 5 minutes away.
Yeah. Kind of place where it's like they have bottles of ketchup for £4.50 in the shops. You know what I mean?
And there's like a barber's and a shaver's and a beauty place, maybe a couple of beauty places, a couple of
this place
charity
will
shops.
be inundated with vape shops at some point, but not right now.
But right now it's probably kind of betting shops and
yeah.
I'm just having a. One second while I open a different document. Sorry about this. That's the thing that I want. That is the thing that I want. You're not getting particularly strong, despite the good roll that you did. There's not a lot around here to find. So what I'm going to say is that you're fairly confident that this area is clear of anything that your stick will, your staff will find for you.
All right.
And that's not a feeling of you. It's a feeling of the area to provide you with vampires.
And Seth hasn't responded yet. Well, not responded, but messaged me with any leads.
Let me do a roll for Seth. 1 sec. And we have a character stat for Seth, and I just need to make sure I'm using the right stats. It's just far too many characters now. Some of whom we haven't needed. Okay, Seth has got that and that. He doesn't roll hunger because he's a human. Okay, as it approaches midnight, Seth texts you saying, "Sorry, but it's getting late. I haven't found much out just now. I will keep trying tomorrow, but I have to sleep now or I will be useless at work."
I reply, that's absolutely fine, Seth. Thank you for trying. I'm going to head home. I'll see you later.
Okay. He replies back, "Thanks, good night." Now, when you say head home, are you thinking about the pub or are you thinking about where your actual home is up at...
Neither. I'm heading to the Coronet and Elephant Castle. I'm going to go down the sewers.
Okay. Are you going to tell Felix that you're doing this? Because by this point he may be worried. I don't know. Up to you, Felix. Would you have messaged him?
I chose not to say anything about that on the text just in case there's somebody monitoring.
Okay.
So I'm going to stick with that.
Felix is probably like hyper focused. Not that he's a bad friend, but I think
I think he's just deep in it.
He's a bit triggered, and I think he's just very focused, and he'll think about it later and be like, "Oh shit."
It's fine. So yeah, I'm going to head there.
Okay,
it's a million miles away. In fact, it's vaguely walkable.
Yeah, you could get a bus or something if you want to say
hop
that.
on a bus.
I'm sure that's possible. Give me a... Double checking this is possible. Because why not? It's a real place.
Yeah, it's 171.
Yeah, straight there. Yeah. Even at this late hour. Or 148.
171's 24 hour.
Okay.
Or at least it was around that time, because I used to get the bus all the time back then.
So it takes you about 40 minutes, but you get over to that part of town. Past Hyde Park, with all of its memories.
Wait, Hyde Park?
Isn't that... Oh, have I gone to the wrong Coronet Theatre? Wouldn't you go through Westminster?
In Elephant Castle, the nightclub.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry. There's another building I've been looking for that's a theatre. That's where I've gone wrong. I was like, that's not Elephant and Castle, and just as you were saying that. It doesn't take you anything like that long. What's Sonia thinking about as she rides the bus?
She has to know for sure that what's coming and what these people are doing is the right move. Everything about it seems to be weird. The only way that she's going to find out is if she talks to someone who may be aware of what's happening.
Okay.
And that would be a vampire.
And I'm going to need those.
She's putting a lot of faith in her new ability to hold vampires at bay for this to work out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The bus arrives near the Coronet Theatre and you get off. It's very dark. It is not raining, but it's not clear. It's quite cloudy. It's quite humid. Humid? Yeah, there's a lot of moisture in the air. The club isn't busy, exactly, but it's open and there's people there. There's music playing.
I'd like to head to that back room that I tried the other time and knock on the door.
You hear a voice from inside the door shouting, "Fuck off."
I'm Raphael's designate, and I come in peace, and I need to talk to you.
There's silence for a moment. And then the door opens.
Who do I see?
There's 3 people at the table. Sorry, give me a second. One of them looks like a femme woman with shoulder length hair. She's wearing kind of a pale face. Got a black stylish top on. Not strong makeup, but there's a look going on, like she doesn't care, kind of look. There's a guy who looks a fair bit older. Got a few more lines on his face. Very short hair. He's wearing a sort of roll neck jumper with a leather jacket over it.
Can you speak? I don't know if I can hear
I'll just do this. Are you not hearing me?
Audio.
Are you hearing me okay? Oh, okay.
I've now got audio back. Sorry.
Oh, right, cool. I described 2 of the people. There's a third guy who's got much shorter hair. I should have said the other 2 are Caucasian. This guy's got a kind of Mediterranean look. More sun. He has been more sun-kissed at some point in life. Got a bit of a beard.
Signs that these are kindred?
You can't tell just by looking with these people.
I'm going to ask straight up. Do you know me?
You just said you were Raphael's designate.
Yeah.
Says the woman.
I'm the latest one. You're aware of the designate?
Rumours. What do you want to talk to us for?
You're kindred, yeah?
Close the fucking door.
I closed the door.
Look, what do you want to come in here and talk to us for? Isn't this usually where you start with the whole murdering thing?
Let's just say I need information to figure out whether what I've been doing is right. Because I've been told a lot of things.
The man with the beard starts talking at this point. He says, "What do you mean the things you've been doing are right? None of what's been going on in this whole fucking situation's right."
Straight up, here's what happened to me. I was just riding my bike, making deliveries for a pizza place I used to work for. Then suddenly I became energy, and a goddamn angel told me that he needed me to be his representative on Earth to cure a plague unleashed by God. That plague, vampirism. I'm sorry if that's an offensive term. I don't know what the right terms are. I was told that there is a whole bunch of people with vampirism going around and killing people. So I've dedicated my life to trying to save people. I know that, and I hope you can understand that motivation, even if it's coming from a place of ignorance. But I have been coming at the situation maybe from the other end of you, and I'm having doubts. So anything you can tell me that would fill in the gaps so I know what the hell is really going on would help me and maybe help you. Do you understand?
The man who looks older starts to speak. He says, how do you think I feel? I was a fucking security guard. I was just doing my job. Then one day I wake up and someone's apparently killed me. None of us choose this life. This unlife. He corrects himself.
I always assumed that you didn't. People I know have told me that you did, that some do. But that always felt weird to me.
Sure, some probably do. Some probably think, oh, it'd be so cool to live forever and watch all your friends die and not be able to talk to anyone that you ever knew and give up the life that you've had up until now. Let me tell you now, it sucks. You have to watch everything change around you. Fucking sucks. He doesn't realise the pun in that as he's saying it.
Yeah, that okay. Do you kill people?
They look at each other a bit guiltily. Never intentionally. We never try. It's one of our things. We have try and keep like a rule. There has to be some kind of code, right? We don't ever want to hurt people who don't deserve to be hurt. But mistakes happen. You know how it is.
I think I do.
What do you come here for? Yeah, sure, you've got your stick, you've got your light, you've got your energy. Why should we care about that?
Because I've been killing your people, and I don't know whether I've been doing the right thing all this time.
You came to ask us that? You think, yeah,
You're the
we'll
best
just say...
people to ask.
Well,
I'm aware that I'm putting myself in danger by doing so, but I hope you can see me doing that means that I'm serious. Why else would I be here if I was and put myself at risk like that?
Honestly, we're taking a big risk even talking to you right now. We're not even planning to stay here. London's got bad. Real bad.
What's wrong with London?
Do you know anything about how our society functions and operates?
Bits and pieces. I know you operate in the shadows. You have people on every level of power of our institutions, and you live in secrecy. You try to keep a shroud on what you do.
Right, yeah, you got some of it. We call it the Masquerade. Look, they kind of look at each other, not sure whether they're going to tell you this or not, but one of them's going to anyway. Shit's got really bad here. There's security forces hunting us down everywhere. London's not safe, even for anarchs. So, we're planning...
Anarchs?
Oh, okay, right. So there's the Camarilla, that's all the people who like manage everything, like the government kind of thing. And then there's a few pockets of people like us who aren't part of that whole system. We don't have a prince. We don't have a fealty to anyone. That whole thing's
gods, no
bullshit.
kings.
Yeah, you got it. You know how it is. We have a baron though. But we're getting out of here because anytime like the humans caught on to us, we're the first ones under the hammer, and we don't even know if any others of our group are still around, so we're just going to make tracks out of the town. But the airports are all under surveillance, the railway stations are all under surveillance, and they're not a safe way out anyway, so we're needing to find some other way. Look, we don't want to hurt anyone more than we have to. Like, it's easy to not kill people if you try hard, but sometimes it happens. Truth of the matter is, we need blood to survive. Don't like it, but that's the way it is.
You truly are victims. I always thought of you as such, just not
Oh no, don't get me wrong, there are some absolute monsters in amongst our number, but I'd hope maybe we're not those.
My name's Sonia. Thank you for speaking to me.
Yeah, whatever. I'm Jonathan, that's Felicity, that's Vance.
Jonathan, Felicity, Vance, if there's anything more you can tell me that you think will help, please do so.
Yeah,
I don't know what I can do to help.
You got a phone?
I do. Here's my number.
Let's do numbers. And as Sonia leaves into the noise and the smell of the club, and Felix looks up from his computer, realizes how late it is, going to draw this one to a close if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems like a good plan.
We went to some places I did not expect there.
Well, I hope that
was okay.
You did.
I know what I did.
You did.
I warned you, sort of.
No. I know. I'm more worried that I stayed roughly in the realms of what you were expecting. I don't think I did.
Okay.
You dropped a hand grenade. Sometimes that leads to unpredictable things.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching this episode of our game of Hunt of the Reckoning. The next session will be on the 11th of August if we manage to get there with no technical problems. The next game on this channel will be Shattered Footsteps, our ongoing die campaign, which will be tomorrow at 8 PM BST, 9 PM Central European and 3 PM Eastern Daylight. And then on Saturday there'll be Mask of Nyarlathotep at 9 PM BST, 4 PM Eastern Daylight. For more on the channel, please check our Discord. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.